So I was going to say, you've talked so much about the way you talk about food and how you think of the restaurant and its role in the community and the pictures and the warm feeling that people have here. It just seems that so much of all of this has kind of family, shot through it. It's about food that brings people together. It's about a warm spot that's in the community. It's about building the community. And the pictures, are all pictures of family. Many, most your own, but also, as you said, some others and your workers, and that there's this sense of kind of connectivity or belonging or something that seems to, pervade your business and the restaurant and the feeling that goes along with
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely.
What we wanted to project was, in the black community, Big Mama is usually the grandmother, and she's the matriarch of the family. She's the one that keeps everything together, keeps the family traditions together, and she sits in a place of honor. And one day I'd like to have a big celebration of all the Big Mamas, in the community, because that's really that's the person that really kept everything in focus. And so I can remember when I first heard that term, it was from people that came up from the South, and I thought, how ignorant and how negative that sounds, Big Mama, And she usually was a real big busty lady, weighed 200 or 300 pounds. And I just thought, that is so dense to me. I mean, that's a name I would never want. Well, as my grandkids begin to roll in, I thought, I'm not ready to be called Granny or Grandma or whatever. So I said, call me Big Mama. And so that's how the name got started. And then as we were thinking of names for the restaurant, the kitchen was always the focal point, was one of the focal points, like in the black community, because there was always food, there was always your grandmother fixing good food, there was always the holidays at her kitchen, and so we wanted to bring that to this restaurant. We wanted you to feel like you're sitting in your Big Mama's kitchen, as you're enjoying the food and the conversation and the fellowship and what have you. And so that's the atmosphere that we want here, and I think that's what we've done and what we will continue to do.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to say or think folks should know, either about Big Mamas or about the community or your perspective on it or anything?
Well, I would just like to see North Omaha thrive again. I'd like to see businesses here, and small businesses, large businesses. I would like to see the neighborhoods improved by sight and just by who populates the neighborhoods. I would just like to be a part of taking away the negative connotation about North Omaha. I would like for it to be just as positive as living in South Omaha or West Omaha or any part of the city, Central Omaha. I'd like to bring that back to North Omaha. And we need help from people outside of the community to help us to do that. And I'd like to see that done. I'd like to see for investors to come in and invest and put some businesses here. I would like to see realtors come in and to redesign some of these neighborhoods. I'd like for it to be a positive place.
Do you think
to raise and grow a family.
There's hope in that,
there's always hope, but you hear so much conversation and everyone talks, but you never see any action, anything really done. So I'm believing that there's hope. I believe that if it was here once, it can be restored. So I'm believing it, yes, that it can be done. I hope it's done within my lifetime. I plan to live another 30 years. I want to be 100. In 30 years, I'll be 100. I would love to see North Omaha back on its feet and a thriving community with, citizens that are promoting the growth, and the young people have a good feeling of hope and a prosperous future, and that they would stay here after they get out of college and not leave and go someplace else, that they could, form their businesses, their life, and find good jobs right here, here in Omaha. I love the city of Omaha. I was born and raised here. I think this is a good place to live, to bring a family, and I'd like to see those things throughout the whole city, not just in North Omaha, but South Omaha, and West Omaha, and East Omaha, the whole city.
All right. Well, thank you, Big Mama. I really appreciate it.